according to MIT's recent study of over 300 AI projects across 150 companies, only 5% achieved meaningful financial returns. That's 95% of all AI projects failing. There seems to be a very clear paradox at the center of this that, when understood, explains why the 5% who succeed are running away with all the gains in the industry, even with worse AI. You see, I use this very paradox of choosing to implement AI tools for my own business, and in turn was able to generate an increased revenue of 400% in just 1 month using AI that actually performed worse at individual tasks than I could do manually. Which is why in this video, I'll show you the AI paradox, why worse performing AI can deliver better business results, and exactly how to avoid the trap that's causing the 95% failure rate. We'll start with what the MIT study reveals about why most AI projects fail. Then I'll explain the AI paradox concept, walk through my real AI case study, and then give you a 5-step framework for proper AI implementation. Plus, if you stick around to the end, I'll share a plug and play worksheet that I use myself so that you can crush your competition and become a top 5% implementer of AI. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tommy Fox Mason. I run an AI solutions agency called Ashgrove AI. We build custom AI integrated software solutions for UCLA Health and the Saudi Arabia Ministry of Health, and I've saved clients a lot of time and money in operational costs. Now, most AI failures aren't technical problems. $35 to $44 billion in failed investments has taught us that these failures fall into 4 distinct categories, and every single one stems from the same fundamental misunderstanding: their strategic problems. Category 1 of these problems is a measurement problem. Businesses are measuring AI like humans. They're doing one-to-one performance comparison. They're focusing on individual task output instead of overall business value, which we'll discuss later on. And businesses are missing the forest for the trees. Category 2 is the implementation problems these businesses are facing. They have no meaningful workflow integration, no feedback loops or adaptability systems, plug and play mentality without process changes. Everyone is treating AI like a magic bullet. And you can see in this image here, this is an architecture of one of the agents that we have created for a client, and it operates very, very differently to the way a human would within predefined workflows. So, the category 3 is the strategic problems. There is a misalignment in budget priorities. Most spending is going to sales and marketing use cases, which is a big alarming stat, as the highest ROI activities are actually coming from back of office automation. So, now you might be wondering why investing in sales and marketing is such a terrible thing. And in this case, I just need to take you back to the early 2000s, where Pets.com was using the internet and the leverage that it provided to invest heavily in sales and marketing instead of investing heavily into their operational procedures. And what had happened was they ended up not being able to fulfill on time. They ended up not being able to actually fulfill with a margin, and they collapsed. And hopefully, people have learned their lesson. Now, category 4 is the mindset problem. People think that AI should replace humans totally. But what AI actually does is creates new economic advantages. And this fundamental misunderstanding is what leads us directly into the paradox that changes everything. But before we get to the paradox, it's about understanding AI's true economic impact. Every day, companies battle to capture customer spending by delivering superior value while managing costs. This competitive pressure creates a fascinating chain reaction. When one business in the arena operates more efficiently, they can lower prices while maintaining profits or reinvest savings into improvement. Their competitors then face a choice: adapt and match this efficiency, or gradually lose customers to the more efficient competitor. This then drives innovation forward through pure economic pressure. So what economic advantages does AI actually unlock? Well, it's actually 4 different advantages. Now, the first economic advantage that AI offers is unlimited scalability. What this means is that, let's say we're wanting to scale a sales team, and this outbound sales team could do 100 calls per day per person. That means you're going to need to scale up to 10 people. That's 10 people that you need to find a desk for. That's 10 people that you need to hire and pay an hourly rate and commissions to. But with AI, You set up the AI agent once, you can scale to the same output that 10 sales reps will be doing for a much, much smaller cost. And the second economic advantage is enhanced customer experience. It's not just because the AI doesn't get frustrated with clients or customers when they're coming to your website or asking for refunds, but it's because the AI is up 24/7. Now, the third economic advantage is consistency and systematic improvement. You get all of the data in a centralized place from the AI. If you set up an agent, you're going to see the exact steps that it takes along the way, and you're going to get data from every single one of those steps in a centralized place for you to improve and make sure everything is consistent and or improving. And then the fourth economic advantage is resource optimization. You no longer have to spend hours on meetings or spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on HR and lawyers and things like this, because AI allows you to optimize for time and money. Like I said, most businesses get this completely wrong because it's a new economic game. And this is where the paradox comes in. AI can create more business value despite worse individual performance. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean with a real example that will change how you think about AI forever. In this example, we're going to use a human sales rep versus an AI sales rep. Let's just say, to begin with, the AI sales rep has to deal with 10,000 website visitors every day. Traditionally, a human sales rep that gets 10,000 website visitors will book 500 calls, close 125 deals at, let's just say, $1,000 per deal. So a net revenue of $125,000. And they'll have to pay out a commission, or you have to pay out a commission to them of $18,750, with a fulfillment cost as well on the back end, because obviously it costs to fulfill all of these deals of $37,500, leaving you with a net profit of $68,750. Now, when it comes to an AI sales rep, there are certain things that you'll notice here that aren't as good as a human sales rep, but the numbers and the output is nearly identical. You can see 10,000 website visitors, but 2,000 calls booked. And I attribute this to the fact that the AI is available 24/7, where a human sales rep, well, they might be partying or doing something else, and the AI is ready to go. The AI will also close less deals than the sales rep, but because you have more calls booked, it evens out very, very nicely. The commission is only, let's just say, $1,000 a month, but that's only for operational costs. That's to actually run the sales rep. So it's more like a salary, and it's far less than the $18,750 of commission you'd be giving a human. Now, the fulfillment cost, $30,000, again, because you have less deals, and the net profit is $69,000. You can see here's an AI sales rep that I have built for my client to reactivate a cold lead sheet for a real estate agency. Now, the result, like I said, it's almost identical, but the operational reality is completely different. Remember, AI can create more business value despite worse individual performance. This is the paradox we're talking about understanding. Now, there are three different effects that cause this AI paradox to take effect. The first is the volume effect. When someone visits a website, they're much more likely to engage if they can talk to someone instantly rather than booking a call 4 days later. That's why the AI system captured 20% of the visitors versus just 5% willing to schedule a future call. Effect 2 is the cost structure. The human system's 15% commission structure means giving away $18,000, nearly $19,000 in profit. The AI system's 1% operating cost leaves almost everything as profit. And the third effect is the hidden benefits that not many people talk about, but I mentioned slightly there, was there's no recruitment or training costs, zero management overhead, no HR administration, no team meetings, sales trainings, vacation coverage, performance management, no commission disputes, no turnover issues, and no sales reps that don't turn up to work because they're out doing other things. Now, I have an ultimatum for you. If you're still not entirely sure about whether you want the human sales rep or the AI sales rep, I want to ask you, would you rather manage a large-scale team with all the complexity of human dynamics, varying performance, HR issues, and high variable costs, or operate a streamlined system that delivers similar results with minimal oversight, predictable performance, and almost no operational headaches? But this is why the AI paradox is so powerful. What looks like worse performance in isolation actually creates a fundamentally better business when you consider the complete picture. And the most exciting part about this is that we're early. What happens when the technology matches humans one-to-one? Then that's when the real money will be flowing to those who invested earlier. And that is an accurate depiction of me thinking about how much money the early investors will make. Now, it's easy for me to sit here and talk about, applying. So it's easy for me to talk about all the theory, but here's how I applied this paradox, this exact paradox thinking. It's easy for me to sit here and talk about all the theoretical stuff, but here is how I applied this paradox thinking to grow my revenue 400% in 1 month. My previous weekly stats on Upwork, which was my main lead generation source, I would source 40 jobs. I would have made 8 job proposals at 20% of the job source. I'll get 3 replies from these job proposals. I get 1 call booked and 0.3 deals per week. I was doing low volume. I was spending 2.5 to 3 hours a day on this. I was extremely burnt out, I'll be honest. But now, understand the AI paradox. Over the past 3 days of my new AI system, I've generated 44 opportunities, sent 35 proposals with a 14% reply rate, which is less than I was getting before. If you see, my reply rate was 25%. But I booked 1 meeting, spending as little as 0.5 hours per day. And the best part about this is I can scale this campaign up and down based on the lead flow that I want. So here is the initial build that I created to generate this AI system. It scrapes all the jobs on Upwork, puts them through a system that extracts the job titles, scores the leads based on the ones that I'm after, and then updates them in my CRM. What you see here is an off-the-shelf solution that I now use, but this was the original solution that I created custom for myself. Like I mentioned, there was some aspects of worse individual performance, but there were better overall business results. I was leveraging AI's unique advantage of being up 24/7 and the unlimited scale and flexible scaling that it provided helped me too. It freed up my time for higher value activities like filming this video so I can start generating inbound leads. Now, what I noticed was that my AI was working while I was sleeping, and that's when it hit me. I actually quite enjoyed being a part of the 5% who understood this paradox. So you might be thinking, that's good for you, but how do we create the strategy to avoid 95% failure rate? Well, I'll explain. You need to use Ray Dalio's 5-step goal setting framework, but use my version, which is adapted to AI implementation. Step 1, have clear goals. The right way to think about this is to reduce customer service costs by 30%. Focus on business value, not AI performance metrics. Define success in profit and efficiency terms, not technical capabilities. Step 2, identify and don't tolerate problems. This is where you separate the noise from the signal. Real problems include cultural resistance, so training the team, workflow integration challenges, making sure that you have clear, defined processes, and then wrong measurement frameworks. Like I mentioned, we need to make sure that we're comparing it to an AI level, not a human level. And the false problems is AI isn't perfect. AI isn't as good as humans as a specific task. So this is the noise. These are the signals. Similarly, in step 3, which is accurately diagnosing root causes, separate the signal from the noise. Most problems stem from human processes, not AI limitations. Look for integration points that need attention, training needs in your organization, and cultural shifts required for adoption. Take it down to the user level. They understand their tasks, their processes better than you may ever will. Take it down to an individual initiative, and you might see things turning around, and the AI paradox will work in your advantage. Don't blame the technology for implementation failures. Step 4, design plans around AI's strength. Leverage the AI paradox's advantage. Scaling capabilities, 24/7 availability, and cost advantages. Start with back office processes, not customer-facing roles. Build feedback loops and adaptation mechanisms into every implementation. Now, last but not least, step 5, measure operational impact, not individual task performance. As opposed to measuring individual task accuracy, one-to-one performance comparison, prioritize tracking, total value created, complete operational picture, resource redistribution effects, and all of these should be tracked in terms of time and or money saved or generated. So, like I said, start with back office administration and processes first. Track how AI redistributes resources and improves team culture. Only move to customer-facing applications after providing value internally. For mission-critical processes, consider external partnerships. And I want to just mention as well that reputation and integrity are your most valuable assets and can be lost in a heartbeat. And finally, maybe the most important point is for mission critical processes, consider external partnerships. And I want to preface this point with the fact that Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett were huge on reputation. They said reputation and integrity are your most valuable assets and can be lost in a heartbeat. MIT backs this up, saying 67% success rates with external vendors occurred compared to internal initiatives. And moving on, like I said in the beginning, AI projects don't fail because of implementation. They fail because of strategy. But all in all, there is the AI paradox. It's why worth performing AI can actually deliver better business outcomes when you understand the complete economic picture. The 95% who fail measure AI like humans instead of leveraging its unique economic advantages. If you yourself and your business want to be in the successful 5% of AI implementers, I've created a free Google Sheet that walks you through applying this 5-step framework and the AI paradox thinking that I have just ran through. Find that Google Sheet, the top link in my description. But if you are serious about taking your AI transformation journey to the next level and are ready to monetarily invest in that, then I offer 30-minute AI strategy sessions where you and I can sit down and discuss your unique situation, either personally or inside your business. And you can find that link too. With that being said, I appreciate your time. Hopefully you found that valuable, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.